Hello, I'm Father Jim, and this is my homily for the second Sunday of Easter. When I was a boy, one of my favorite TV shows was Branded, starring Chuck Connors. Branded was the story of a U.S. cavalry captain named Jason McCord. In the story, McCord was the sole survivor of a massacre by Apache Indians. On the day of that battle, there was confusion in the chain of command, and McCord ended up getting court-martialed. With no witnesses to defend him, the judges concluded that he had deserted his unit in the heat of the battle. McCord was tried and dishonorably discharged. He was branded a coward and spent the rest of his life having to prove that he was not the coward that everyone believed him to be. Well, that's the storyline of that old TV show called Branded. If anyone ever makes a film about the Apostle Thomas, they might want to use the same title. Because, like a soldier branded with cowardice, Thomas was branded as the doubter. We always talk about St. Thomas the doubter. The terrible thing about being branded is that your reputation is poisoned by one particular incident to the exclusion of all the other good things that you've done in your life. In Thomas's case, it's interesting, but all the other apostles also doubted. We don't call them the doubters. It doesn't seem to matter that the other apostles refused to believe the women who claimed that Jesus had risen from the dead. It doesn't matter that the other disciples also ducked for cover and ran like scared rabbits on Good Friday. So think of it. Thomas's entire life was forever shadowed by that one incident. It gives proof to that old saying that it takes 20 years to establish a reputation, but only 2 minutes to destroy it. Ask Thomas, he'll tell you what that feels like. He'll tell you that it doesn't matter how many times he walked beside Jesus and hung on every word of the Master. It doesn't matter that it was him, Thomas, who, when Jesus turned his face toward Jerusalem, roused the others and said, "Let's go and die with him." He's not remembered for those courageous words. Rather, he's remembered for saying, "Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hand and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." Poor guy. His legacy forever fixed by that one single moment. But not really. If you seek the truth and you dig deep to find it, you'll discover a different side of the story. Let's go back to that old TV show for just a minute. Captain Jason McCord spent the rest of his life proving he was not a coward. How does that compare with St. Thomas? He was branded a doubter. And yet tradition holds that Thomas went further than any other disciple to spread the good news that Jesus had indeed risen from the dead. That's right. St. Peter carried the gospel to Rome. St. Paul carried it to Greece. St. Mark carried it to Egypt. St. John carried it to Turkey. But Thomas, it is said, preached the faith as far away as India. Maybe his being branded a doubter is what compelled him to carry the gospel to the end of the world. This is Father Jim. God bless you.